tell me your names and the name you were given, or the name you made up for your breaking name.
All right. Well, me first.
Anyone, man.
Go first, Warren.
All right. My name's Warren. My breaking name was Lazy Bones, and I was in the crew Break-a-zoids.
Hi, my name is Paul Barnwell. I was in a crew called the Jedis / Hard Rock Breakers. My breaking name was Rima, and I used to break.
How? Alright, my name's Otis Angel, and my body popping name was Frosty Freeze.
My name is Ansel Clark. My b-boy name now is Astro Atom. I'm a member of the Jedi's crew.
Right, my name is Kelvin Hall, and my breakdancing name was Rico. Yeah.
My name's Mark. I was in a crew called break-a-zoids, and I was known as Wiz.
My name is Derek. My breakdance name was Sub 4 back in the day.
My name is Terence Cora, and my breakdance name was Bronx Kid, wasn't it? Yeah, Bronx Kid. The rough kid from the Bronx, you know, the type of, you know, as if I could have lasted in the Bronx 2 minutes, you know what I mean? But yeah.
My name is Franklin Riley. The breaking name I had was Flash Legs, and we started breaking in '82. Is that too much?
My name's Randolph Hall, Kelvin Hall's brother. And my breaking name, I had two names because we had two crews. My first name was Kuriski, and my last name was Kid Nice.
My name's Halik Demirci, and I started as a breaker in a year about same time around 82, mid 82. Yeah, around mid 82.
What was your breaking name?
My breaking name was Fantastic Freeze, and I think I got that name from a War Star movie when Fantastic Freaks were coming on the amphitheater. Fantastic Freaks, Fantastic Freeze, Freaks. I changed the Freaks into Freeze. So I kept the Fantastic, and I changed the Freak into Freeze. So it was just Fantastic Freeze.
Yeah, you said about the Jedis, right?
Yeah.
And there was Jedis and there was the Hard Rock. So how did the name Jedis come about?
Well, you see, if I remember rightly, the Star Wars movie came out at them days, and I love my sci-fi films. Most of us did like our films, and there's like, when we actually decided to do breaking, and obviously we decided that we need to get a name together, for some reason, the garage down the bottom of the road there inspired us. That was like our home base. The garage was like where we sort of like created and designed everything. Do you know what I mean? And it's like we all sat there, if I remember rightly, and was going through names. And for some reason, I don't know who it was. I think it was Ansel came up with the name Jedis. And you thought, you know what? That sounds good, man. That sounds good. Because then we started saying that, you know, with the Force in the films, the Star Wars film, the Force is always with you. The Force has always been with us from day one. Do you know what I'm saying? So we thought, yeah, Jedis is good, man. So we named that.
What was first, Jedis or Hard Rock Breakers?
It was Jedis. At the time of we were searching for names. AKA Clark and Franklin was searching for names in our school called Stationers. And Ansel Clark came up with the Jedis, and Franklin Riley agreed with it, and that's formed the crew.
And it was called the Jedis crew. We were quite successful. We changed the name halfway through, that I remember, to the Hard Rock Breakers. Yeah. And then it was swapped back for reasons, I think, because of copyrights and stuff like that. But yeah, so we were out as the Hard Rock Breakers, and there was another 2 crews in Hornsey who went alongside with us. Used to train in different camps, obviously the break-a-zoids, who I was very good friends with, and the Street Rockers, who I had so much respect for. I even made some really good friends out of there. Orville, Otis, who founded it, and there was a girl, I think, that I knew who I got in there, Tracy, if I remember rightly, yeah.
To have, when you're in a crew, you wouldn't really use your own name. You make up a name for yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not to say that we were following everybody else around. We just sort of like decided, yeah, let's make a name up. You know what I mean? And with my name, Kuriski, because me and Ansel, we was tight. We were together all the time, and it's like we came up with the idea of that name because in those days I used to love motorbikes and what's the name of the bike again? Kawasaki, that's the one. Yeah, Kawasaki was the name the name of the bike that I favoured, and I thought, you know what? Let me see if I can blend a name around that, and we came up with Kuriski. You know what I mean? And the Kid Nice, obviously, when we became Hard Rock, we decided that, you know, the Jedi sort of like faded out during sort of like the mid-80s, and sort of like when we had our second crew, which was Hard Rock, we changed our names as well. And my other name was Kid Nice because my moves were nice, you know what I mean?
Was you involved with any activity before you started breaking?
The activities before breaking, I mean, just growing up, as a youth, we used to just do roller skating, skateboarding, BMX, basically a lot of things. Even like parkour, come to think of it, what they call that now. We used to just jump from wall to wall, climb walls, jump fence, anything we could climb, we used to just do that, just keep moving. That we was dancing before even breaking and body bopping and locking started as well. So yeah, we were doing quite a lot of things before all of this. That was our inspiration. I hear some other man even like watching Kung Fu movies, trying little moves from the Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, I remember that.
And a lot of things.
Yeah, of course I was, yeah. I used to go youth clubs, play football in my spare time, and hang out with my friends, yeah.
For myself, I was involved in martial arts, Kung Fu life. So, and which I'm still an active part of that now. And then I got eventually into breaking. We saw breaking, we saw the film Wild Style, up Uplands Road, and from there on, it kicked off for us. We was involved.
Yeah, roller skating. Heavily into roller skating. I used to love it.
Martial arts. Martial arts led the way for, it just opened my mind to a lot of stuff like football, boxing, mainly martial arts. So that is an eye-opening for me.
Yeah, I used to be involved in martial arts, did various different styles. Mainly animal style Kung Fu, you know, because I think that gave me the more versatility in my body. A bit acrobatics, you know, and trying to be very flexible and acrobatic at the same time.
I suppose music had a lot to do with it. The music was, yeah, a very big part of my life, all my life. I was just singing, playing guitar or whatever. So, yeah, music was very I was active in music from a very young age because I was listening to music and hearing music, you know, and it just soaked into me. And that's how we had the rhythm to dance to it. Do you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, we was already halfway there because we had rhythm to dance to the music. So it's sort of like, yeah, it was easy for us to learn how to break dance.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, we used to just live up the road in Chittle Court. We were very active, especially during the summer holidays. As Warren was saying, we would be on our bikes, we'd be on roller skates. It's funny enough, roller skating is something I've always loved, and even up until this day, I still do when I can. But we just kept so active. Each day we would just spend, without even realizing, looking back now, our fun or our enjoyment was just active. So we was outdoors all the time doing activities. If we weren't on our bikes, we'd have gone out exploring, doing scrumping, getting fruits from other people's gardens, running up and down. I remember one of the games we'd play in Chittle Court, run-outs. Now that kept you active. We'd play run-outs for hours, you know, jumping off walls, hanging, playing off-ground touch. How we played then is funny that later on in life, today they've got something called free sports or free running. And that became now, that's like a trend. But then, we just was playing a game of run-outs and we was doing it and not knowing that's what we were doing.
Martial arts, man. Martial arts was a big thing in my life when I was young. I was talking about from what, 12 years upwards. My mum took us to a karate club when I was about 11, 12. And it's like from there, I just branched off and it's like been doing it ever since. Stopped it now, obviously, but it's like riding a bike. Once you can know how to ride your bike and have your balance, you never lose that, you know? But yeah, it inspired me from the martial arts, man.
So it's interesting how things develop later in life and things that would have just been the normal day of events for us when we was growing up, when we were younger. And it's funny how the different transitions that we go through as young people, and when we first saw breakdancing, we thought, yeah, we've got to learn that. I was a dancer, we were dancing before that, because before that we was learning to dance. I remember my older brother would go to certain clubs and I wanted to go with him, but I was too young. But so I'd practice some of the dance moves, the club dancing moves in the dance floor, just, you know, like disco dancing, you know. And so I was active that way. And as a young teenager growing up, I'd go to like a club called the Master Little Club and we'd just practice little dance moves in there. And the love for dancing was just always there. It just was in the DNA, man. So obviously when hip hop or when breakdancing was introduced and when it first came, we already had the fame that it's in us already. So we was just made for this. So that's when it really started for us.
Yeah, I go back to the era of Jeffrey Daniels when he was first on ITV and Shalimar, where Jeffrey Daniels made inspiration on a lot of us with his dance style, which at the time was robot. And then he sort of advanced it into a kind of body popping. So I sort of influenced myself off of that and became a body popper. And my name back then was Dr. Funk. And I used to kind of dress in, my outfits were like the doctor's white cloak and all of that. And I visited a lot of nightclubs and kind of done my dance style body popping. Clubs like Bumbles, where a very good friend of mine, James Anthony, used to play, known as Jude James back then. Valentino's, used to go all around and meet other body poppers from all across London, from South. They'd come to North and dance. And I kind of represented North London in that. I remember I went to a competition at Bumbles, which I won. And there was another good friend of mine who I went to school with. The name I can't really remember now. Who also was doing body popping at the time. The scene became kind of how can I pull it, sold out, where a lot of people were body popping, and then came the breakdance era from the Rocksteady crew, as I remember, and the New York City Breakers. My brother Franklin then, not formed, but he kind of had a lot of followers in school, included Hallett, Ansel Clark, Paul, Barnwell, and a lot of them got together and formed a crew called the Jedis crew. And I was asked if I'd like to join, so I sort of said, you know what, I could be part of that.
I think it's like every mum's, you know, having two boys, and she's sort of like bringing us up on her own. I think it's the fact that, you know, she wants us to be strong in the society, do you know what I mean, and not have no worries and have no fears. So when we're out on our own, she knows that we'll be all right, do you know what I mean? Not a matter of sort of like defending, but martial art is not just about fighting, it's about self-control and your mind mentality, you know what I'm saying?
Likewise, I started, before I started breaking, before hip-hop, obviously, because most of us was going in the same school, stationers. And yeah, we was involved in martial arts and all them areas. Franklin was most like martial art and sound system era. And me, even like way before even like martial art, we was more into like roller skates and Atari games and all that, you know? And when age catch up, like 13, 12, 13, I knew late night and martial art movie eras through Franklin, because Franklin's side and Paul's side was the organisers of filming Upwood Green. And we used to go to the same school, and it was like a new craze. It was like, you know, martial art movies was like, it was like going out to a club and coming back. You know what I mean? That was our that was our clubbing, like Fridays. It could be anywhere. It could be Connacht Cinema, Stoke Newington, it could be Elephant and Castle, it could be Curzon, just round at the back of us down here. You know what I mean? Or it could
sound systems, and it was late night.
Yeah, sound system and late night it was, that's right.
That's how we started off.